Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Cool Racing Network. Tonight, we're here for the Hold Your Brakes Academy race at the old Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's now known as Echo Park as well, but this is the older version here. Doesn't have the fresh repave that just sticks like glue in these corners on the new one. And I mean, this thing rips like a super speedway. That's not the one we're on here tonight. We are on the older version here, and these drivers are gonna have to work the wheel here a little bit as well. I know the first couple laps out there, it can get a little bit sketchy. It's certainly bumpy, maybe no more than on the exit of pit road. I mean, just pulling out of the pits and getting the car up to speed, it is really bumpy down there on that apron. So if we get any kind of I mean, even yellow flag pit stops here just coming out of the pits there, could end up losing it and maybe collecting somebody else on pit exit. But we'll see what these drivers can do. Good sized field out here tonight. Carline, we're joined in the booth by Jimmy Cover. Jimmy, we got a chance to both got a chance to get out there and just run a little bit. And man, this is rough. I know we you know, some drivers complain about the new one, how it's like a super speedway, but give me some smooth driving anytime.
You know, I've been shy from the oval scene, like, you know, the past year or so, and it's not that you know, I didn't like driving at all the tracks, but this track here, it just kind of almost reminded me, like, I thought I was at Rockingham at first. I had to look. It's just so bumpy. Like, it's like an old Daytona, you know. It's definitely has the old feel on it. The car's floating. You have to be careful where you're going when you're getting on the throttle, like, because when the car goes over those bumps and the weight shifts, if you're not careful, it's going to send you around, and the driver's going to have to deal with that here tonight. We've got about 27 drivers out here getting ready to take the track here as the qualifying is come to an end. So we will go. Nope, still open.
No, yeah, we still got a
getting
couple
ready
minutes
for
left.
Qualifying right now. Yeah, so
yeah, a couple minutes left in qualifying, but while we have some time, we'll go ahead and bring in the driver of the number 4, that being Jeremy Gill. Jeremy, welcome to the booth, and we get a chance to talk to you. It's kind of been, I want to say, an up and down season. I mean, we've seen you know, have some really good races. We've seen some other races where it almost seemed like you had a target on your back, but either way, it's kind of worked out to this point in the season. You're only 5 points behind the leader in the standings. So, I mean, how do you view the season so far? Do you feel like it's been a success? Do you feel like there's something that you left out there?
I would use the word frustrating. Just put it. Hang on, let me mute that. All right, sorry. I would use the word frustrating. Got a really bad start to the season with Bristol and all that, and then I don't know. That's the word I would use. Those frustrating. But we're holding on. We're managing. We'll get there.
Well, I guess, I mean, you know, if frustration means, you know, only 5 points out of the point standings, it's got to, I guess, you know, have a positive outlook for the end of the, you know, for the second half of this season.
Well, the frustration is because I know I can do better than what I've been doing. That's where the frustration comes in. It's just a lack of performance and putting on finishes for me. That's
self-critic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, ultimately, we're in charge of our cars out there. So, you know, whether I get wrecked or whatever, I mean, it's still on me. You know, so that's ultimately where the frustration is not getting ourselves in position to survive. So
you mentioned it was a rough start to the season. I mean, you started the season exactly where you wanted to, on top of the boards, winning at Homestead, but been winless ever since. So, I mean, how do you feel out here tonight? I know Jimmy kind of joked with you before we got in here about keeping it off the wall. Looks like you kept it off the wall and got a qualifying time in there, but kind of sitting about mid-pack there. I mean, how do you feel about the qualifying efforts? Do you feel like you got some race pace in that car?
Yeah, I just focus on race pace, honestly. I hit the low 30.6 and not qualifying in practice, and it was just, I don't know, it pushing the car too hard. I don't like doing that, and I went out there and butchered my first lap and touched the wall on the second. So, you know,
that'll do it. That'll do it right there. Well, it seems like pushing could be the kind of the talking point of the night. I mean, for me, just getting out there a little bit and practicing. I know it was with it might have been with full fuel, but it seemed like the lower you went in the corners, the more just drastic the push off the corners was. Were you feeling the same out there?
Yeah. So the harder you push it in the corner, the harder. Oh, my crew chief's talking now. Anyways, the harder you push it in the corner, the harder you're going to come out of the corner. And I don't mean like harder. I mean the more you're pushing coming off corner exits. So at a place like Atlanta, you really want to back the corners up as much as possible. A lot of people will even call it harvicking. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that tonight. A lot of that. Hopefully we can go green and get those long green flag runs, because I've never been one for a short run. I've never had short run speed, so hopefully we can get that long run going.
Well, we certainly wish you luck out there. You got 85 laps to try and get that number 4 up through the field a little bit. But either way, wish you luck. And before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
I want to give a shout out to my team for just sticking by me through the hard times. They really mean a lot to me, almost like a family. And you guys, and for that commentator's curse, don't touch the wall, and I touched the wall. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to you guys. Let's go. Winning.
Don't put that on me. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. That was all Jimmy saying that. So.
Yeah, all Jimmy.
Guilty by association, I guess.
That was just to get it out of the way. Now he's going to win.
All right, buddy. Well, I see you guys are rolling out there, so hopefully roll that 4 towards the front here, and we'll talk to you at some point.
Yes, sir. Well, y'all have a good one.
You too, buddy. That was the driver of the 4, Jeremy Gill, as we get this thing ready to go. Jimmy, why don't you give us a quick rundown of tonight's starting order?
I'm sorry, I was yelling at my dog because they're being loud. For no apparent reason. No. Anyways, tonight's lineup here for tonight. It's going to be Tom Lanier with the pole with Rob Higgs Jr. on the outside. Then Drafty B from Joshua King in row number 2. Row number 3, Matt Olmar with Andrew Jones. Dylan Jacobs and Timothy Presley will make up row number 4. With Ryan Perrone Sr. and Chris Alley there for row number 5. Matt Bryant with George Ledesma in row number 6. Shane King with Thomas Osborne in row number 7. Tiffany Ellis and Robert Altman back there in row number 8. Row number 9 is going to be Jeremy Gill with Robbie Minor. And the rest of the field, as I click over here, will be Aaron Ginsky and Sean McLean in row number 10. Row number 11, Jarrett Martin with Tristan Minor. Row number 12, Bryson Anderson with William Martin. And row number 13, James Smith with Don King. And bringing up the back-to-back, Steve Harris.
Pace car is in. We're ready for 85 laps of racing here around the old Atlanta. Green flag is waving, and it is Tom Lanier leading them into turn number 1. Drafty Beef on the inside, already looking to move up into second on the inside of Rob Higgs Jr. Matt Ulmer in 4th, but we're already going to get a yellow. Looks like we had some issues towards the back of the pack. Robert Altman, possibly Tristan Minor, going to be getting involved in this one as we didn't even make it to turn number 1. We'll take a look at what happened. Jimmy, did we lose you?
I apologize about that. No, I didn't lose me. The wife come out, I was asking why I didn't answer the door. I was like, what are you talking about? That's because it's why my dogs are barking. Never heard any doorbell. Anyways, we'll go back and catch that wreck there. It looked like Robert Altman and Tristan Minor were involved here. We'll find out what happened here. Ooh.
Looks like a little bit of a bobble and a slow entry into the corner, and Robbie Minor gets into the back of the 94. 00 takes a big shot right there as well. Jarrett Martin getting involved, and looks like the 22 tried to sneak by on the high side, but that's exactly what can happen when you try and just, gun it and get around an incident. Tristan Minor getting involved there, and then, of course, the 9, James Smith involved. So it's a lot more involved than needed to be right there, and you got to have a little patience, especially in that first corner, first lap. Just wait it out, and it's hold your brakes for a reason. You see the 22 holding the brakes, but still sliding down the track, trying to stay away from Robert Altman. But going to bring us under our first caution here tonight. We mentioned that it's a 5-point lead over Jeremy Gill. Well, the man that is leading the point standings is the 17 of Joshua King, as he is out there again to a 5-point lead over Jeremy Gill, and then it's 12 points back to Andrew Jones, 21 back to Drafty Beef, and then 28 back to Timothy Presley. But Tiffany Ellis been on a bit of a roll, moving her way up to 6th in the point standings, only 30 points back. Matt Ulmer, Joseph Thomas, Shane King, and Robert Altman for your top 10, as they've been having a good amount of drivers all throughout the season so far. I mean, they've had 36 different drivers hop onto the track. Not sure if there's anybody brand new out here tonight to make it 37, but I mean, it's pretty good showing for a league that's quote unquote a beginner league, and allowing drivers to kind of get out there, get their feet wet, and maybe learn a little bit as we're going to double this thing back up.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to see, people continue to come out here and, for a league with a bunch of learners in it. I mean, it's always good to get out here around people that are also learning with you, so you can make and learn your mistakes together, and that's what the cautions are for. But it really wasn't too bad, just somebody getting off the wall, just trying to hold on to the car, and some of the learning points, obviously, when an incident happens, the caution flies, just kind of slow down, and if you gotta stop, you gotta stop. You don't have to try to force that as you get around the track. But we're getting ready to go back to green here, and Tom Lanier is out front.
Yeah, for the restart here is going to be the 99 of Lanier leading the way. Drafty Beef now up into 2nd, just getting ahead at the time the caution came out. Matt Ulmer, Joshua King, and Andrew Jones for your top 5, as we did have some takers into pit lane, including the man who started 2nd on the night here, Rob Higgs Jr., deciding to bring that 14 down into pit lane, as he was one of about, looks like 6 drivers coming into the pits. But we're going to get this thing back underway. We'll see if the 14 can make his way through the field. But right now, it's going to be under control by the 99 in the restart zone. He's back on the loud pedal. A little bit of a bobble. You see how those cold tires just not wanting to kind of wake up from their little slumber there. But either way, the drivers get it under control, at least for the most part, head off into turn 1.
Like everybody is pretty under control at the moment. I had somebody slow down, go high, and towards the back. They didn't quite catch the number of the car, but did a few spots back here. But everybody trying to make position, and kind of early, but you have to take care of them tires. Like I said, when I got out there, they're all saying it was tight. I was getting really loose. Maybe that's just because they were cold tires. Oh, it's off the wall. Can they hold on to it? And they do.
Good save there by the 3 of Andrew Jones, as kind of a little tap there from Ryan Perone. And I think he kind of got maybe a notice just coming off the corner that they were 3 wide, and you see him kind of move up a little bit off the corner, and unfortunately he moved up a little bit too far through the quad over there and into the 3. But everybody keeps it straight here. We're going to keep this thing lean and green. Out front, it is Lanier out there by a half a second. Drafty Beef, Matt Ulmer, Josh King, and Dylan Jacobs now for the top 5. Then you got Ali, Presley, Ledesma Jr., Perone Sr., and Jones for your top 10. Good look from the back of the 54 there. I believe the 54 is new. I'm not sure if I remember seeing Chris Alley out there. Actually, no, he has run at least one race earlier on in the season with us. But having the 54 up there towards the front right now, moving himself up into the top 5. But seems like a bit of a 4-car breakaway at the front, as Lanier leading the way out there, but the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th kind of hanging right there together, not really letting him check out too much at the front, at least in the early going. But this is a track, even when it's the quote-unquote super speedway version, the newer paved version here of Atlanta, you can kind of check out and run out there on your own. But especially on this rough and old surface here, if you know how to handle the car, you know how to kind of conserve the tires, be fast but yet be smooth, you can definitely check out and run away from the rest of the field. And right now, the top 4, 2 seconds ahead of the rest of the field.
And that's just being able to, whether they got practice or a little more experience with these cars. I mean, it's what can equate to, kind of these leads, or being able to save tires, and just kind of knowing the track, how it handles, what the car is like after a certain amount of laps, and just kind of keep things rolling as the race goes on and then tires start wearing down. We're 10 laps in right now out of the 85, and Carl, this is the time now, after the green flag laps are out there, the tires are warmed up, and if you've overcooked them, they start getting kind of pushy, and you start feeling that right now.
I mean, the race is literally named the Jacobs Tire Saving Challenge. $5 going to the winner, and it's definitely they're gonna need that $5 to buy some new tires after this race for sure. They had some fun last week, kind of letting their hair down at the Irwindale figure 8, as it looks like the 3 of Jones up into the wall, scraping the wall. He's gonna fall back. But a good job. It's self-sacrificing up there, staying up against the wall, not involving anybody else, and just kind of taking his medicine. But as I was mentioning last week, Irwindale figure 8, they had their all-star race, and certainly had some fun there with the street stocks and in the jump there as well. And we've seen a lot of fun, a lot of carnage as well, but certainly not the carnage that Andrew Jones wanted to have here. He's going to bring the 3 down into pit road. Not sure how much he can actually steer that thing. Seems like it's having some real issues from scraping the wall for so long.
Yeah, I did that during when I was practicing. I broke the steering, and I didn't hit very hard, so the linkage went out, and I couldn't steer at all. I just happened to be able to get down pit lane with using the throttle, but wasn't able to line it up in the pit box. But he's going to come down in the pits, probably take a fast repair, and get back out there. Yep.
You can see that thing just kind of rocking back and forth as he came into pit lane, so definitely hurting. But out front, these drivers aren't hurting. They're 2.5 seconds ahead of 5th place. Here's a top 4 still stretching out. Lanier's got a 3/4 second lead over Drafty Beef, Ulmer, and Joshua King for your top 4. Then Presley rounds out that top 5. Back in action here tonight. Jacobs, Ledesma, Gill, Ellis, and Bryant now for your top 10. Take a look back at Rob Higgs, just making a pass now on Robbie Minor back there in 20th position, as he has not really made any kind of moves since he came into the pits. Just coming in, topping off on fuel there on lap number 2. Maybe playing the long game here, thinking that this thing may go, a little longer after the first caution, which it's always tough when you get that quick early caution. You start to wonder right away, how is this race going to play out? Is it going to be a lot of cautions right to start this race? But for me, Jimmy, I think more often than not, when we've seen that early caution, that caution that happens on like lap 1, more often than not, we usually end up getting a pretty good green flag run after that, which doesn't really make sense, but I'll take it.
We had a few drivers tagging that wall. That's a pretty heavy hit there by the 52. William Martin. I've seen him having a little bit of issues and starting to get tight out in corners, and was a little high. Ended up smacking that wall pretty good. So hopefully not too much damage on the 52 as he continues to roll around here right now. We're on lap 16 of 85. Tom Lanier is the leader of the Drafty Beef in that level.
Yeah, at least with 52, he's got that sponsor from Discount Tire. Might need some extra tires after this thing is over. As he definitely used them up a little bit there and smoked the wall, but still making his way around here. And I mean, we've seen what happened to the 3. He just run up against that wall, and that car was completely, destroyed on that right side that he had to bring it in. But it seems like the 52 can at least turn through the corners yet. But all the way back here now in 22nd position. Battle in 16th and 17th, going back and forth between Tom Osborne and Don King, kind of leading the charge of this, second, third pack, or whatever you want to consider it back here. But I mean, you take a look, and this thing is really spread out since we got the green flag. I know we talked about the top 4 spreading out, and they're 2 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. But you see just almost kind of little pockets of cars here and there. But all in all, the field's pretty spread out here already.
Yeah, pretty spread out, and just kind of making their way around here. I think obviously being a lot of people learning this track with this car, that's what you should see. I mean, if you're not comfortable, slow it down until you can ramp it up and really get going and find those marks. But if you're damaging your car and you're finding yourself in all kinds of kind of like damage on your car, it's not going to handle like if it was clean. So you're out there adding one more thing to it. So the easiest thing to do is just back it down, run your pace, and run your race, and you just got to let the cards fall, and you'll finish where you finish. But you have to finish in order to gain any positions, and being clean usually equates to a pretty decent finish. Oh, and it looks like the 14 is going to go sideways and bounces off the wall. So Rob Higgs Jr. having a little bit of issue making contact there, but they keep it going forward, but he's got some major right front damage.
Yeah, not sure if that was contact with another car as well moving up through the field. I've seen one wobble in there a little bit, but that 14 certainly hurting on the front right. As he did keep it under control here, as you see the 70 there of Don King. And oh man, just seemed like the 70 maybe sent it in there and it just washed up on him, hit that bump the wrong way and got into the 14. Pretty bad impact there on the outside wall, but again, keeps it going straight here, keeps it going the right way. We'll keep this thing green and start to click away the laps. Already 20 laps into this race, and you know, kind of got an idea that the pit window should be somewhere in the late 30s, maybe early 40s, depending on how much they're out here drafting and how much they're actually using up the fuel or not. But still a little bit of ways from the first official stops that we'll see out here tonight. We'll see if anybody decides to come in early and kind of split this thing into thirds, as it should be, you know, a wall or a 2, maybe 3 stop race, depending on how you play it out. Certainly those drivers that came in on lap number 2, maybe you know, helping themselves out to get it closer to a 2-stop race for sure. But either way, it is Tom Lanier out in front, Drafty Beef, Matt Ulmer, Joshua King, Dylan Jacobs for your top 5. Jeremy Gill, qualifying or not, he's moved his way up into the 6th position. He's up 11 spots right now, tied for the biggest mover of the race with the 7 of Bryson Anderson, who is up 11 spots in 12th place.
Like I said, he just had to get the early wall smacks out of the way, so now Gil on the move, up 11 spots, your biggest mover, along with Bryson Anderson as well. So we talked about Bryson Anderson, the 7 subweight machine, you know, when we called him out in the beginning there, but just having a good run, just able to work his way through the field and maybe just kind of feeling the groove. Maybe just didn't qualify well, or maybe ended up hitting that wall, trying to push it just a little bit too much during qualifying. But finds himself P number 12 at the moment, up 11 spots. We'll talk about James Smith as well, another driver up 11 spots, sitting in 14th spot, and that number 9, Pabst Blue Ribbons machine.
Reminds me of the good old slow pitch softball days with a little PBR on there. Certainly, you know, you got to buy beer for the whole team. Well, PBR is definitely a nice, cheap option for everybody, and it's beer is beer when it comes to the slow pitch softball. Even when it comes to you know, a little medical. I know for one of the games, I apparently was you know, a couple of PBRs into the game, and decided to slide into second to try and to avoid a tag, and not realizing until legs were down on the ground that I was wearing shorts. I wasn't wearing, you know, baseball pants or anything like that. Well, my leg knew that I was wearing shorts, and basically tore the flesh off the entire side of my leg. And of course, you know, you're halfway into a game. You're not just going to leave and go to the hospital and get it checked out. You're just going to, you know, go to the bench, pour a beer on it, you know, kill the germs, and get back out there. So that's exactly what I did. And and I have a scar to prove it across the entire side of my leg. So say what you might, but you know, I toughed it out, and it took about 2 weeks to heal from that. So it is what it is. But yeah, some good PBR moments right there. It's not just for drinking; it's for medical use too.
Did you guys have like a gravel, like?
Oh, the dirt infield. Did not play. Yeah, it did not play too well. If it was a grass infield, it'd be fine. I just have a little grass stain. That's fine.
Like you were playing like on the pavement, no. Like it was some city ball or something.
This thing looked like I rolled my motorcycle. I don't even have a motorcycle. So, But I digress. It is a 1 second lead now for Tom Lanier. It's kind of ebbing and flowing between a second and a half, but now we've got a caution here, as it looks like Jared Martin, the 00, may be involved in this one. Right around that lap number 25, and I'm not sure what happened there. If he got some help right before that, or that was a major loose. And I mean, if that's all that transpired from all that sliding sideways back and forth all the way through the quad oval, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, front end, the steering is probably gone on that machine.
I think it was just I think he was just trying to get it going there. It's just the banking that turned him up into the wall. I think that the car actually might be pretty clean, all things considered. I mean, that was a crazy snap off the corner. If we can maybe take a look back at that one more time to see if he got any help right before that happened right there, because it was wobbling back and forth going through the quad over there. And I don't think the 9 or the 6 there got into him at all. I think it was just right there might have been. All right. There we go. Big smack into the exit of turn number 4, and that'll do it every time.
Yep.
As it was a heck of a job right here, keeping it off the outside wall there. A great job by the 6 of Sean McLean sneaking on by on the inside right there, but it's going to have been a fun ride, and not to make you do it again, Jimmy, but I almost want to take a look at this one more time from the driver's point of view and just see that steering wheel getting sawed back and forth as he goes through this quad over here, because that could not have been a fun ride at all.
I mean, it's the power of technology. Go here, and then you could just change where he's at. I'm sure he can relive this now as many times, and you can thank Carl Jarrett. We'll speed it up for him.
Yeah, there's a start, and then yep. I mean, again, everything considered here, this was a heck of a save. I mean, that little brush right there of the wall, 100 times out of 100 you will take that as a driver, considering where he was in the field. I mean, even though right there you see him gas up, maybe get a little bit extra damage, but you will take that every time, considering what he went through. How he kept it off the wall, even the grass, and how all his competitors kept it off of him. Heck of a job. That's all I can say. But it's going to bring us under the caution here, and we had a mass exodus from the track, and everyone coming in there taking their pit stop, and didn't really change much, as we still have Tom Lanier at the front, Drafty Beef, Matt Ulmer, Joshua King, and Jeremy Gill now in the top 5, and lights are out. If we didn't look at that replay about 6 different times, we would have had some time to bring him up here, but I couldn't help myself. That was a great drive there, one way or another from Jared Martin, but going to double him back up here. Lanier and Beef on the front row, Ulmer, King, Jacobs for your top 5. Actually, Jeremy Gill for your top 5, then Jacobs, Presley, Matt Bryant, Ali, Ellis for your top 10, as we still got plenty of drivers out there and running. I don't think we have anyone other than maybe Tristan Miner still in the pits, maybe getting some repairs done on that 22. But everyone else, the other 26 cars, are out there ready to go green here once again, as we're going to complete lap number 30. Again, 85 laps here tonight, so still got plenty of ways to go.
Yeah, plenty of racing still remaining here. Still got that 55 laps to go as we cross the line. So we know that they got to stop at least one more time. Everybody's been in there for fresh tires. How do they handle it? Being all grouped back up, we will see. But 99 Tom Lanier getting on the loud pedal, breaking away nice and early, as everybody else is basically fending for their own right now, trying to hold on to where they're at. And the one's
and the 1 is going to go around. I'm not sure if the 5 came up there as well. If that's going to be a bigger incident, we'll have to take a look. It looked like an incident between the 1 and the 5. And the 5 coming up, and I think the 1 maybe had eyes to look down to the inside there of the 4, maybe get a good run. But the 5 was there, and unfortunately, Presley gets turned around off the nose of Dylan Jacobs, and it's the 5 coming back up there. It looks like he may have been able to keep it off of everyone else.
No, he hit somebody.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
Take a look at that right here, as the 5 trying to correct it here. And
5.
yeah, coming back up there. Yeah, it's the 5 of Dylan Jacobs. There he is.
Yeah.
Up the track, and I think Matt Bryant might be the first casualty here in the 41. Oh, that casualty. That's honestly, that's unacceptable. I mean, plain and simple. I get net code at times. That was horrendous. I mean, you could almost fit another damn car in between the 5 and the 41 right there. That's terrible. And that's not what either the 5 or the 41 or the 87 of Tiffany Ellis getting involved in that one as well. None of them deserved that incident. I mean, right there, the 5 went through the 44. You know, if the 44 would have got hooked right there, I could at least understood that one. But this is, yeah, all of this right here is a complete result of just dirty netcode. Because these cars right here wouldn't have been checking up had it not been for the incident that they're seeing in their windshield. So this is just this is something that you hate to see for sure. But well, we got some time, and you know, we can keep looking at this incident a couple more times in the meantime and show just how bad this was. We'll go ahead and bring in the driver of the 4 because he didn't waste too much time moving his way up. So, Jeremy, you got that thing up into the top 5 right now, so clearly race pace isn't the issue.
No, it's just completing races. That is the issue. Getting the car across the line in one piece. That's been the issue.
Well, it was definitely that right there, the incident happening directly behind you. Just a little bit of close racing right off your tail. Luckily, you don't get involved in that one, but then to continue, it's some heavy netcode out there. And you kind of wonder sometimes when you go to these older tracks, I get the lure of running these older tracks, but you wonder if sometimes that maybe plays a little bit of a part in these netcode issues here. Have you had any kind of issues so far in the race for yourself?
I have. I got a 4X. Actually, the guy's behind me, Matt Bryan. I passed him and got a magical 4X on like the 3rd or 4th lap. I don't really understand that, but I have had some netcode. What happened behind me? Did I cause that when I came up? Y'all had a good view. I didn't see anything.
It looked like the 5 was coming up to go side by side with the 1, and not sure if he came up a little bit too much or if the 1 was thinking about coming down and getting underneath you on the backstretch. But no, it was contact between them that happened behind you. But we'll let you get back to it. See if you can keep moving up through the field here. Maybe get yourself a podium, and we'll talk to you after the race as well.
All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate it. Y'all have a wonderful broadcast, and then we'll sit in here and try to play the tire-saving game now. So,
good luck with that, buddy.
Yes, sir.
That is the driver of the 4, Jeremy Gill, as he's going to restart here in the top 5 here as Tom Lanier going to bring him back to the green here one more time. And Drafty Beef going to try and hang with him. Matt Ulmer right behind him. Big bobble by the 99. Ulmer's going to get to the inside. Drafty Beef is going to get the best restart on the outside. He's going to take the lead into 1, and one little bobble like that. And maybe we talk to Jeremy Gill just in time because he is involved in a big one here. And he just got done saying just finishing the races is what he's looking to try and do. And that is a smoking car. And he's going to have to tow that thing back to pit lane the way it looks.
That's not his, though. There's
not the 4.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the 4. He's the 4 in the front there. That was smoking. And he did have to jump back to the pits right there.
Around 54 T-bones, 17, 7 gets involved, 52 gets
and that
around.
Is just that's straight cold tires.
44, 94, the 1 is trying to slow down. Oh, he sneaks by. 54 hits him again, this time in the front. Oh my goodness.
And this was kind of a mini big one here at Atlanta, and you hate to see it. A lot of top drivers getting involved in this one. We had not just Jeremy Gill going back into the pits, towing back into the pits. Chris Alley towing back into the pits as well. Joshua King, heavy damage on that 17, certainly the 54 there. Just so much damage. He decided to tow it back to pit lane as well. That's a shame, and it can happen that quickly with some of these cold tires on the restarts. I mean, you've seen right before that even happened, what happened in the 99. Tom Lanier leading this entire race, seemed like no one was going to get by him. He had control of the restart. He didn't have control of his tires though. As he spun those things, he lit them up, gave the lead to Drafty Beef, and even gave up second to Matt Ulmer, who started behind him. So I mean, it's these cold tires. You cannot take these restarts for granted. We've seen it at Rockingham, a couple Sundays ago with the the 191 Motorsports. He's seen what can happen on some of these restarts, and yeah, it's one of the things you can't really practice. I mean, I guess you can practice, coming out of pit lane and kind of firing off from pit lane with brand new tires, and then resetting, doing it again, resetting, doing it again. So I guess that's, if you're going to practice it, that might be the only way you can do it. But you got to get used to it here, and it's not easy. But either way, we're getting a little bit closer to halfway, or about 36 laps into this race. We're going to double up this time by, and it'll be Drafty Beef that'll hopefully get the foot to the floor a little bit smoother this time.
Yeah, I think the only thing that you can kind of battle that, Carl, like, is the tire slip. They do make haptics. I know Sim Magic does, and you have to go use Sim Hub in order to get it, but to kind of imitate like the tire slip for when it's happening like that, and then you can get a rumble underneath your foot, underneath your gas pedal, let you know that your tires are spinning, vice just staying in it, and then the car goes out of control. So I mean, it might help a little, it might help some people. It's just that one added extra kind of feel to the car. But yeah, you're right, you just got to kind of keep in your mind that, hey, these are cold tires, and I can't keep this thing in high RPMs and punch it. It's gonna, or it just lights them up like I'm sitting still to try to do some victory burnouts or something. But not during the restart, as we got plenty more laps to go before anybody's doing victories or burnouts. So, but Drafty Beef's gonna be out front right now with Matt Ulmer on the outside. Tom Lanier down in the inside. I'll take another attempt here, getting a good start here. Dylan Jacobs in the 5 on the outside there on road number 2. Then James Smith, Matt Bryan, Ryan Perrone, William Martin, Tim Presley, and Sean McLean for your top 10.
A lot better start from the 99, not so much for Matt Ulmer. He spins the tires, gets into the wall, and now some more issues as they're trying to get up to speed here through turn number 1 and 3-4 wide. Drivers on the apron still banging into each other, and somehow they're, for the most part, keeping it straight, and we're gonna keep this thing green. But that was not the healthiest of starts. But how about coming up through the back there? Sure, there was the 44. Certainly Jorge Ledesma picking up a bunch of spots with everybody just not sure what they wanted to do on that restart.
Yeah, I think everybody started like seeing issues and like kind of checking up, moving out of the way, and other people are like, "Oh, I'll take advantage of the opportunity. I feel fine." And next thing you know, they're going 4 wide, almost 5 wide as they go around the corner, down on the apron and whatnot. But getting this thing ironed out, getting it going, getting the flow going here, as we're heading towards that halfway point here. So about halfway done and plenty of racing to go. But Drafty Beef leads Tom Lanier out front, so I'll go back up front as looks like the mid-pack has calmed down a little bit. But Drafty Beef wasting no time. Gonna try to stretch his legs out from Tom Lanier, and get him to push or try to track down Drafty Beef and wear down them tires.
Yeah, certainly a good start back-to-back now from Drafty Beef, and it's gotten him a pretty decent-sized lead out here, as he was certainly running up there pretty nicely on the first little run when the 4 broke away, and now it looks like it's a 3-car breakaway as Drafty Beef out front. Tom Lanier and Timothy Presley now for the top 3 that are breaking away, 2.7 seconds out in front. But man, Jimmy, I think we found the battlefield.
You think? That's mid-pack right now. 115, the 17, the 3, the 41, the 44 involved in there, the 6. Plenty of drivers battling back and forth, going 2 wide around here, just trying to get positions or get laps back, whatever it may be. It's a pretty hot commodity part of the track at the moment. But yeah, just back here with the 17 of Joshua King. I've seen him up front a few times in a few races, so just having a little more troubles here tonight to trying to survive and get that 17 back to the front here. But another one driver that's kind of falling back just a little bit, though, is Dylan Jacobs. He's been on that high side as a lot of the drivers and making their way around. So I don't know if he's just like tire save mode fuel save mode. I mean, I'm not sure because he is staying up there and allowing drivers to kind of just keep going by. Just let them do
Definitely
their
see
thing.
some damage to the back of that 5, so I'm not sure if that's a cause of it as well.
See,
But
maybe a little bit.
yeah, it's kind of smushed in from the side there a little bit. You can see it right there. That's definitely not how the CarQuest Chevrolet is supposed to look in the back end. But either way, he's still out there chugging away just outside the top 10. Actually, just losing a couple more spots to drop him outside the top 10 as I thought it was Tiffany Ellis moving up into the top 10, but Ellis actually is down a lap, as is Jeremy Gill, the number 4. Is back here. He's got a clean car, but not sure if he got caught up in the previous wreck or what the case is. Actually, no, he's back here because he had to tow to pit lane. So that's exactly why. But out front, Drafty Beef leads the way. Tom Lanier trying to hold on to second place, but Timothy Presley may have something to say about it here real soon. He's trying to keep him real close, trying to reel him in and get up there in the second place. See these drivers at the front kind of utilizing that middle lane. Lanier has stuck to that bottom, and he's done well. Certainly out front at the bottom, definitely better than Presley off the corner. But as I said, for me, I almost kind of felt more comfortable in that middle lane, like especially where they are right now. And anytime I got down below that first seam coming off the corner, unless you're picking up the throttle real late, it seemed like that thing just wanted to really push off the corner. But a little bit better, maybe a little bit more grip, just because of it being kind of a wider radius in the middle of the track. Felt a little smoother for me, but that's why I'm up here in the booth. And that's why we just sit back here and enjoy these races, as we are now past the halfway point, as we got less than 40 laps to go in this race.
Got less than 40 laps remaining here tonight at Old Atlanta. And just want to give a shout out to all the fans out there. See Samantha and Amber and Mike Casey, Barry, Mike Gearyard. Who else is out there? Where'd my mouse go? Kelly Akron. Yeah, so just a thanks to all the viewers for continuing to show up and supporting their favorite driver here tonight. And as I kind of rolled over on Jarrett Martin, as they are in P number 13, and they are up 8 spots, so doing a pretty good job in that 0-0 here tonight. But the biggest mover of the race right now is the number 9, Pabst Blue Ribbon, working for them here tonight. P number 5, yeah, like I said, P number 5, 20 spots for James.
Yeah, that's passing a couple cars. I'm sure quite a bit of those were gifted by the incidents, maybe sneaking by some of those incidents. But either way, I mean, starting back there in 25th and now sitting in the top 5 at the midway point of the race has got to feel like exactly what he wanted. he's up here now, up there in the mix. Whether he didn't get a good qualifying effort in, whether he didn't even put a lap in, not sure what the case was for the 9, but he's now up here in the top 5 regardless. Timothy Presley up there now in second place, as Drafty Beef may have had an issue dropping back a couple spots, but someone else having an issue is Tiffany Ellis, as looks like that might be the cause of our recent caution right here, and maybe getting some help from Netcode again. I mean, it's so frustrating to see this, because you feel for the drivers. I mean, me and Jimmy have certainly been on the the butt end of Netcode. We know how it feels, and it sucks. There's no other way to put it. I mean, it's friggin' horrible, because Ellis could be in the car right now, absolutely PO'd at Thomas Osborne right now in the 57. I don't think Osborne would have got into her. No. I mean, it looked like he was coming up the track a little bit, but he was starting to straighten out, and just Netcode said, no, you're gonna hit her. And it sucks, because it creates a negative situation, certainly for Ellis, who is turned around back into the wall. But then again, it could be animosity between the 87 and the 57, and it shouldn't be. It's just nothing you could do about it. It's just, you gotta take the good with the bad. Sometimes you get I don't know if there is a good end of Netcode, so I'm just gonna stop myself right there.
I mean, the only good part of netcode is taking out your competition. If you just happen to be by yourself or something, you know, sitting back in that lucky dog, or not lucky dog, but in that catbird seat, you know, just watching two of your favorite drivers chase each other around, you're relentlessly right in front of you because you're too slow to catch them. The next thing you know, netcode takes them out. So yeah, netcode can be your friend, but it's obviously doing some harm somewhere else. It's kind of like a Final Destination. It's just when is it going to happen, and trying to avoid it. So it's just a matter of time. It's gonna get you. Speaking of Final Destination, I did see they got the newest one out on I think it's HBO. So if you haven't seen it, don't watch it with kids. It's quite graphic. But I remember watching the older ones, and when I could take road trips because of
yes, anytime you get behind a truck,
behind a truck with logs, yep, or metal, yep, nope. I just either speed by them or back off. Yeah, I do whatever I can possible to get away from log trucks. And we actually have a lot of log trucks here in Florida. They have like tree farms here, and they're always running up and down the main road here. So yeah, I just keep my distance.
And it's amazing because I seen something about that the other day, that, you know, the movie itself wasn't as popular as just that scene itself. You know, there was a lot of people that just seen that scene, you know, for the preview of the movie, never seen the actual movie itself, but because of that fear being on the highway behind a logging truck or something like that. It's amazing, you know, what one little scene like that just kind of ruins so many lives. But either way, we're gonna get this thing back underway. Tom Lanier back at the point as we had another round of pit stops there. Timothy Presley in second. Drafty Beef, Sean McLean now up 17 spots into third place, actually into fourth place on the outside there, Drafty Beef. And then James Smith rounding out your top five. As we're going to get this thing back underway, and we're going to be close to the last 30 laps of this race, so not quite go time yet. Still got plenty of driving to do, but can they get the pedal down here cleanly? Looks like a little bit better start from everyone this time by, but still going to make it through the second part of the quad. Oh, there we go, and nope. There it is. Another incident. And I think I was going to say bounced them straight, but the 87-7, both involved in this one. Looked like it might have started from the 7 of Bryson Anderson there, just stepping straight to the right.
Oh, what happened in front? Right, yeah, up there. Go up there near the 7. There we go.
Up there.
The 60
yeah,
bounced
of course.
off the wall.
Got some help from netcode. Again, the 60, not sure if the 60 would have touched the 7, bounced off the wall, but Shane King and then did end up getting it straightened out. But again, netcode just saying, nope, you guys are going to touch it. Right there, boom. He had it straightened out, would not have touched the 7, but it happens. And again, you know, it's kind of like, you know, what I mentioned. We were talking to Jeremy Gear earlier. You wonder if the fact that they're running the older, you know, the legacy version here of Atlanta, and, you know, kind of older graphics, you wonder if that plays a part at all, because we've seen some we've seen some netcode before, but we've seen some here tonight. I mean, the last one, certainly this one wasn't great. The last one was absolutely horrendous. It might have been the biggest netcode that I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen like huge netcodes, and most of the time it's with like the really fast cars, because it's just, you know, obviously the delay and trying to know where the vehicle's going to be exactly on the track for every single second. No matter how good technology is, they haven't quite been able to get zero latency or zero. I mean, it takes time for information to basically go from your computer out to some, you know, probably a hub to the server, and then out to everybody else's computers wherever they're at in the world. So there's a time, like a lag time, you know. It's like it's just, it is what it is. Some games are better than others. Racing, it's just very, you know, evident because you're trying to, you know, you're running around each other really close. But these legacy tracks like this, you know, they're not updated. I don't know if they don't update the code or whatever. So if something changes and, you know, you're out here running, just might very well just get some bad net code like we're having here tonight. So it's hard to get out there and get a good race in and call it successful. I mean, I think it's been successful because I've been able to go on some green flag runs. We have seen some good green flag racing. So it's just a matter of time just to try to keep them gremlins away. We got a few more laps to go. We're under 30. So we've got about 27 laps, I think, to go here. So, yeah, we'll see how they can finish this out, see if they can make it all the way to the green. They should be good on gas. Now it's just getting the car to the finish.
Well, and we've seen a lot of these incidents happen on restarts here from drivers just not having control of the car. And you've seen it on that one. I know netcode caused it, but if the 60 doesn't get in the wall there, maybe from spinning the tires a little bit, maybe that doesn't happen at all. So again, it's another one that's just a little bit rough of a restart. Seemed like everybody had it under control, but really you can't count it clean until everybody kind of gets into turn number 1. It seems like even if they get the throttle down, cross the start finish line, it's just going through that first little kink of the quad oval, essentially turn number 1. Until they get through there and into the banking, it's not really completely clean yet. So we'll see if they can get a better launch, better restart here, get some green flag, and maybe finish this thing under green before this thing is over. As we're back on the loud pedal here once again, racing at Atlanta. Tom Lanier leads them off into turn number 1.
Yeah, Lanier getting back out to the front. They're losing some spots for a not so great start, but getting some pressure by the 1 and 2, trying to make their way around. I mean, we're down getting to the point where they know how important it is to be out front. So these drivers are going to be looking to get around on the 1, looking to the outside, 2 looking to the inside.
almost 3 wide, and the 1 maybe catching a little netcode wall there. You see a little puff of smoke, but he never touched the wall. But Tom Lanier going to hold them off right now, and it could be getting to the point, Jimmy, where we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier with drivers seeing so many cautions. Well, now they're going to start getting a little more aggressive because they're thinking that the next caution is just right around the corner. So I got to get up there. I got to try and make some passes ASAP. I got to try and move my way up there, and especially on these restarts, I can pass 2, 3, 4, 5 guys right away. It just ends up bringing in more mistakes, more issues. Like right there, the 5 thought about going 3 wide, backed out at the last second, kept it off the wall and off of Matt Ulmer, or that could have been another big one.
Yeah, probably a good call there for the 5 to kind of let up just a little bit to savor that run for maybe next time around, and he has. He's now on the outside of the 23, finally makes it work slightly ahead as they head down to turn number 3. He's got the pass made. Now the 44 looking to take the advantage. 5 looking to make their way move forward. So Dylan Jacobs on the move, trying to chase down James Smith. That is in P4, but the 23 of Matt Ulmer still looking, trying to hang on to what they got, but allows the 44 to get by as well. And now it looks like the 00 of Jarrett Martin going to try to take advantage of 23 having issues as well.
Gonna fall in behind Ulmer right now, but I was really close for the 41. Matt Bryant up into the wall, almost collecting the 00. But how about the man that is finally almost back in the top 10, Rob Higgs Jr. in the 14. We've seen him take to the pits on lap number 2, giving up 2nd place overall. Fell way back in the field. Now he's right there in your camera view. And maybe getting a little tap there as well through the corner as he moves his way up into the top 10 for the first time, I think, since the start of this race, because he ended up slamming into the wall in that early run. But now he's got a battle on his hands as Shane King in the 60 has got some fresh tires on that thing, trying to move his way along. Actually, I don't think he does have new tires on it. I think it's actually Rob Higgs that has the new tires. It's switching back and forth so quick, I'm not sure who it is, but either way, the 14 trying to get himself back up towards the front.
Higgs was in on lap 55, and Higgs was in on lap 51.
And it is Higgs that has got the tires on lap 50, lap 51. Shane King only took fuel on 55, but King has got the advantage right now and is in front of the 14. Last spot in the top 10, but you see Higgs back to the inside looking to make his way up through there. Meanwhile, out front, Lanier has still got the lead, but Timothy Presley not letting him go at all over the backside of that 99 as the one looks to go rim riding again to the high side, and Lanier just puts his back up there a little bit and kind of blocks that entrance right there. I think Drafty Beef, not sure if he's losing touch here because of speed or if he's just backing off saying, you know what, you guys want to wreck, like, give me some time to make a decision which way I want to go.
Yeah, I got 20 laps to go, and if Netcode decides to blow up those two cars, maybe he just doesn't want to be close enough to be part of it, so you have to be kind of keep him in touch here as he's falling back just a little bit.
Presley's scraping the wall there a little bit, going to lose a little bit of time on Lanier. James Smith still holding on to 4th place. Dylan Jacobs back here in 5th as about 2 seconds separating the top 5 right now. Rory Ledesma Jr., Matt Bryant, Jared Martin, Rob Eggs Jr., and Shane King for your top 10 as Ulmer slipping back here a little bit just outside of the top 10, but hopefully we can get this thing done now on the green as they got a restart finally cleaner this time through, and we're down to less than 20 laps to go at this point. Tom Lanier seems to have been the kind of the car to beat here tonight. He got the pole, lit a bunch of laps early, but a bad restart almost took his complete race away. Luckily, he was able to save it enough to stay up inside the top 3. He's regained the lead and is holding off the charges from both the 1 and the 2 right now.
And you seen, I was probably looking in that mirror just a little bit as they were pretty close, but pull out just pull away just a little bit here. With only 19 laps remaining, so Timothy Presley now behind by 0.75 seconds from your leader. But then it goes back to Drafty Beef, and he has his hands full now with number 9, James Smith.
Yeah, Smith really making a charge through this field. He's now up 22 spots. Again, started back there in 25th, and he is he's certainly on a bit of a run here now, up into the podium spots. But I'm wondering if that one maybe used up a little bit too much tires. Maybe that little brush of the wall hurt him more than we realized. But it seems like that one's charge for the front has at least kind of stalled for the time being. And you wonder if he wanted to maybe stay off that wall for one, but maybe try and get to that lead, control the pace here a little bit, and all of a sudden now he can't, and he's paying the price.
Yeah, don't know what's quite going on, but back to the battlefield here, as you can see them going too wide and pretty much door to door. Netcode or not, these drivers are going to battle like it's not even a thing. So we're going to go back here with Aaron Ginsky back sitting in P number 10 on the 115, and right behind him is where all the action is currently happening.
Car slowing down going into the pits. Not sure who that was, but we still got quite a few cars still running in this race, as right now it's again starting to stretch out here a little bit. The top 18 on the lead lap. Joshua King, your points leader, is in 19th, 1 lap down. Jeremy Gill, 2nd place in the points, is in 20th, 2 laps down. So not a good night for your points leaders for sure. Can't say the same about 3rd place in the points. And I believe I'm going to double check that, but I believe it is Drafty Beef 3rd in the points heading into tonight. And I'm sorry, actually that is Andrew Jones, Drafty Beef in 4th in the points, but Andrew Jones in the 3 certainly had his moments getting that 3 up into the wall, but it seems like he's got everything cleaned up. He's just outside the top 10 right now in 11th, so a better points day for him compared to the top 2 in the points. But Drafty Beef up there now in 4th position. You know, could be a big swing in the points. Could be a big change up at the top of the points right now. As again, Drafty Beef came in 21 points behind. Andrew Jones 12 points behind. It could be completely flip-flopped in this the top half of the point standings here, and even Timothy Presley 5th in points, running up there in 2nd right now. So the top 5 could be completely flipped after this race, and after tonight we only have 4 races left in this season.
Yeah, it's been a great season so far, and you know, obviously there's four more races after tonight are going to fly by. But right now it's we're trying to finish this race out. We'll finish this season, and then we'll see what comes. You know, how long these drivers are going to take a break. You know, are they going to take it just a week or two? They're going to be right back at it. We'll find out. We'll be standing by to hear if CRN will be on board again next season with the Hold Your Brakes Academy. But right now, Tom Lanier is leading the charge here tonight. He's got a lot of pressure right now by Timothy. But Timothy, speaking a lot of pressure, has already applied that pressure and is now around.
Yeah, he doesn't now. No, he's not around, but he's about to get gone around by the 9 Smith. Here of James Smith, as Smith goes to the inside here. Excuse me, in 3 and 4. And he's got that 9 working to try and get into second place. He may have the car to challenge Tom Lanier, now moving into second. So we'll see what the 9 has got. If he can finally clear Presley, looks like he's got a better run through 1 and 2. Just not enough to finally fully clear that 1, as Presley's going to fight back here on the backstretch. And we're going to have a caution. Smith is going to get credited with second place, just ahead when the caution came out. And we're going to have a late race caution here, and we'll see exactly what brought this out. It looks like Ulmer into the 70 of Don King, and they went and did a little lawn maintenance.
Yeah, I think King came off the wall coming out of 4. We'll go back a little bit farther so you can kind of get the 23 washing out.
It looks like the 70 coming down the track here a little bit, and the 23 just going to meet in the middle. At least this one, I can't blame on netcode. It looks like they just kind of touched in the middle, and the 70s kind of got hooked onto the side of the 23, and eventually sent him around on the front stretch and slid through the grass. Well, we got a chance. I do want to send a shout out, and the reason that CRN is on board here with Hold Your Brakes Academy, and a shout out to Joe Thomas, not here in attendance tonight, but shout out to him and pinupsforvets.com for being the season sponsor here and bringing CRN on board to cover the Hold Your Brakes Academy for this season. So thank you to Joe out there, and hopefully he's enjoying a night off here, watching these boys and girls go at it. But we're not done yet, and this late race caution is going to make it very, very interesting, and we'll see what kind of strategies play out here. Looks like the 9 is going to come out in second place. You see right there, Tom Lanier in front, but they didn't come out completely in front because Timothy Presley decided to keep that 1 out. So Presley is going to inherit the lead, but he's going to have 15 lap older tires. What can he do from the front? We'll see if he decides to come in this time by, and you maybe have second thoughts on that. But right now he is your leader. Maybe going to try and hold off and hoping that this thing kind of cautions out to the end.
I think unfortunately, I think Tim is going to massively regret his decision here, and once that green flag drops, he's going to get eaten up. And right now, looking at the standings, there's 19 people that are on the lead lap, and he is the first one that did not pit. So he can drop quite a few spots here tonight in 8 laps. So I think he's going to drop all the way back to 19th. Probably not, but yeah, he's going to have trouble with the 1 here, trying to get it down. Other drivers behind him have to kind of pay attention. Obviously, they're worried about getting a good start with their new tires, and that might benefit them just a little bit since his tires are already warmed up. So we'll keep an eye out on Timothy Presley here in the 1. And does he have what it takes to utilize old tires to win a race here at the Old Woodland?
But it's not just him, it's the entire front row. I don't know if Don King got the memo that they're going to be restarting here. He is running second in line, but he's not on the outside of the 1. So hopefully he decides to move up there, because it should be the entire front row that is on older tires. But looks like maybe getting the late call. There we go. Now he's going to move up to the outside. Maybe he's just down there saving a little bit of fuel as well. So who knows? But The entire front row has got older tires. Can they get the power down here on the restart? Are we going to see some calamity? Looks like the one's drifting a little bit back and forth. Going to already lose the lead. The 70 certainly did not get a good restart on the outside. And now 3 wide, and the 44 going to get into the 99. Lanier, big impact into the outside wall, and then gets tagged again. Now, what this is going to do on that last restart there, you mentioned 19 cars on the lead lap. That means Joshua King was back on the lead lap, already charged up from 19th to 13th. And I believe this may get, could be wrong, but it may get Jeremy Gill up there in the mix as well to get at least one of these laps back. But the 99, big impact here as Jorge Ledesma goes 3 wide, gets into the back of the 99, sends him in the wall.
Yeah, 99 going for a ride here. Obviously, it comes down. Ooh, and takes a shot there by the 00 as well. Ouch.
Yeah, Jaron Martin not going to be tell me about this as well, as he's the one that got the give the big shot to the 99. 50 looks like just sneaking by there. But what could have been for Tom Lanier looked like he was the dominant car here tonight. And now I don't think there's a chance that he can even finish in the top 10. That is an absolute shame here for Thomas. He ended up towing it back to pit lane. Going to probably lose at least a lap here, even under caution. As Ledesma is going to be your new leader out front. Timothy Presley electing to still stay out here. So, we're still under caution here. He could have came in there and realized how bad those tires were, but maybe thinking that this thing is just going to have caution after caution to finish out, and he'll try and sneak in at least the top 5 to finish this thing out. But I mean, he's got a Jorge Ledesma with 15 lap newer tires than him, as is Dylan Jacobs in 3rd. James Smith, Don King for your top 5. Don King is another one that remains out there. Didn't get a good restart on that one for sure.
Yeah, just kind of just doing this thing. We haven't talked much about Don here tonight. Just kind of getting around, some of the wrecks, especially at this point of the races, when you really don't want to be involved in any of them. And starting to get a few more people back on the lead lap. So Jeremy Gill, I think, one of the last on a few. But 5 laps to go, Carl. So this time by, next one would bring out a green-white shirt.
Yeah, we're down less than 5 laps to go, and still pacing around here. So we'll see if this is going to be an unofficial green-white checker before we get this thing going. It's going to be close to it, but I think we're going to have a couple laps before we get the white flag on this one, as we should be getting the one to go this time by from the pace car. We'll see if the lights go out, and it'll be Jorge Ledesma in the 44 that'll lead them back to the green flag here. And indeed, we're going to double it back up here. Get this thing back underway. It'll be Jorge Ledesma, Timothy Presley, Dylan Jacobs, James Smith, Don King for your top 5, Rob Higgs Jr., Drafty Beef, Shane King, Aaron Agensky, and Sean McLean for your top 10.
Jorge in the right spot, the right time. Going to be, he's on the newest tires as well. But Martin and Lanier both have meatball flags still sitting in the pit, so they're going to be in there for a little while to check they didn't have a fast repair remaining or checked. And then Ellis still with the black flag. Been out for quite a few laps now. But that's where the flag stands there on the tower. But yeah, looks like Jorge Ledesma lead them off here as the lights are off in the pace car, heading down into turn number 3. Work their way around alongside. On the outside is the one at Timothy Presley. And you have Dylan Jacobs that's been on the move all night with James Smith, and then Rob Higgs with Drafty Beef on for 6 and 7, 8, 9, Aaron Kinsky, Shane King, and Andrew Jones.
Pretty good restart there from the front row. Not so much for row number 3, as that one got a little rough start on the inside. And of course, that is where Don King is. They're going to go 3 wide into the corner. Beef on the inside. Ulmer on the outside is going to get pushed out of that. Here comes Shane King on the inside trying to make a move as they're 2 wide for the lead. Ledesma Jr. on the outside trying to hold off Dylan Jacobs, but the 5 looking for the lead. He's got it through 3 and 4. But only just as Ledesma fights back here And Ledesma going to hold off for the lead as we're going to get the white flag next time by, still side by side. As you see now, the 5 again dives to the inside. The 44, they're pinching them down there, trying to hold them off. They'll still be side by side off the corner. Back in third there, Rob Higgs in the unmistakable 14 there, trying to get up there in the mix. If this 5 and 44 keep mixing it up, it's going to be a chance maybe for the 14 as the 44 just clears. White flag in the air, one more lap to go. Next flag will end this thing as Ledesma heads off into 1. He's got the lead. Can the 14 of Higgs play into this at all? Certainly catching up here a little bit through the corner, but up into the wall maybe a little bit. Down the backstretch, Ledesma Jr. in the catbird seat. The 5 sends it in, tries to get to the back bumper. It's not going to be enough. Jorge Ledesma Jr. going to break through, get the win here at Atlanta. Dylan Jacobs, Rob Higgs Jr., and James Smith going to finish out the top 5. And how about the comeback for the 3 of Andrew Jones getting up there in 5th place. Joshua King spent a lot of time, 1 lap down. He gets his lap back, ends up finishing up there in 10th position. Jeremy Gill, our pre-race reporter, not exactly the night he wanted to have after all, ends up finishing back there in 17th position. But Ledesma Jr., maybe a little controversial move there towards the end of the race, getting into the 99 of Lanier. But either way, it's a 44 that gets to celebrate at the end.
44 is going to burn down as they are the winner here tonight over Dylan Jacobs and Rob Higgs Jr. Rob coming, having a comeback. It was him towards the back of the field, and to finish 3rd is a good feat. Biggest move of their night is going to go to the number 9 of James Smith. 21 spots for that number 3. 13 spots would be Aaron Genske, and then for 11 laps would be Sean McLean and Dong Ting, as well as Jorge Ledesma. So a lot of good moves throughout the track. I think obviously very eventful, a lot of learn points for some of these drivers, and definitely not a track that I would be coming back to visit, as it is rocky. Like I said, I want to call it Rockingham.
Yeah, it was a little rough out there, which certainly didn't help with the restarts. But I think the biggest thing, if you couldn't tell throughout the broadcast, that irritated me was the net code here tonight. Net code really bad here. I mean, there was some that, again, I mean, the one you felt like you could almost fit another car in between them, and it's a shame when that comes into play. I mean, you don't want to see anybody get wrecked by any other drivers, but when they get wrecked by other drivers, wink wink, that just doesn't do it for me. That just irritates me when that happens. But either way, we'll get our top 3 up here into the in the waiting room. We'll get a chat with them. But it was a heck of a night here at Atlanta, and again, we only got 4 races left in the season here, as after tonight we're gonna head to Las Vegas for the hashtag Charlie Strong 128 for type 1 diabetes. Next week, New Hampshire is going to be the Marty's birthday bash on the 18th. On the 25th is going to be at Talladega for the Banana Split 150. On September 8th will be the season finale. It'll be at Charlotte under the lights for the dumpstertoday.com 100. But we got to talk to our top 3 here for tonight, and we'll get them up here in the booth. We had them in there for a second, but they're kind of bouncing all around here, so I'm just gonna grab them whether they want to or not. And 3rd place tonight, Jimmy, is gonna be the 14 of Rob Higgs Jr.
Hey, Rob, Jimmy, and Carl up in the booth. You copy?
Hey, what's up, boys?
Hey, not too bad. You started off where you needed to be. You had a good qualifying there, and P number 2, and then kind of took an early caution and decided to come into pits for gas, and then you're kind of in the battlefield, fighting your way back through the field all night long, and found your way all the way back up here into P number 3. So great drive back up through the field. What was going through your mind, or what was wrong with the car there in the beginning?
Well, when that early flag came out, I topped off because my plan was to make this a 1 pit stop on the green race. That was my plan from the get-go. I wasn't trying to go into pits more times than that. I was praying for green flag racing. I was just going to take advantage of the fact I could conserve fuel, tire, make longer runs.
Gotcha. So that would definitely make it a lot easier by just getting a little bit of fuel. But obviously, having a few cautions here tonight, and mostly your guys' favorite friend, Netcoat, out there here tonight, showing big and strong. I think there was one. It was so bad. I think it was about a whole car width wide. It was like somebody got bounced to the wall. So. Yeah, you guys will be able to see that in the replays here at CRN. But it was an interesting one here tonight. But you get away with a good finish, working your way forward here in the points, coming down with only a few races remaining. So just wanted to say congratulations on the third place finish and give you some time for any shots you might have at number 14.
I just want to shout out you guys, putting on a great show. I enjoyed definitely rewatching the races. And, of course, guys over at MTR putting all my shenanigans. But, hopefully one of these times I'll be the bride and not the bridesmaid. Get to the top for once.
Well, good luck on your, your races to come here. And hopefully you'll find yourself in the right spot towards the end here and maybe get a chance at that championship here this season. So, again, congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
Is the driver of the 14 third place finisher here tonight, Rob Higgs Jr. Second place is going to be the driver of the 5, Dylan Jacobs. And Dylan, kind of an up and down night for you. A decent qualifying spot up there in the top 10. But towards the end of the race, you decide to come in there pretty late. Took some tires on the kind of the second last pit stop. Really the last pit stop of the race. And I got you up there with a chance to win. And you kind of did everything you could to get around Jorge Ledesma there, and he almost you peeked your nose in front a couple times, just couldn't quite clear him.
Yeah, I was actually just back watching the replay myself now, looking to see what I could have done different. And I hate to be this guy and say it like this, but getting pinched down the way I did, now I see how people are going to race me, so now I know I'm going to have to race them back.
Yeah, it was definitely some hard racing at the least in those last couple laps, and you tried to do everything you could even on that last lap, and maybe try and throw a haymaker into 3 and 4, just couldn't quite get to the back bumper. Were you thinking, maybe this is one last shot here?
Oh yeah, for sure. I sent it in there just hoping it would stick and try to get a run off the corner underneath them, but it didn't. I sent it in just way too hard, and I was just holding not to hit the wall and hold on to the second place after that.
Well, I know, it's never necessarily fun coming in second, especially when you're right there close to getting the win. But after everything I kind of went on here tonight, does it feel like you can at least maybe breathe a little sigh of relief getting up here in the top 3?
Oh yeah, I feel good about it, especially since Jeremy Gill put this race together to test my tire saving, and I feel like I did a pretty good job all race long. Besides getting into that one incident with Timmy and putting me back in the field a little bit with damage, but other than that, felt great.
Well, hopefully you can get this 5 going in the right direction for these last couple of races here. Get yourself maybe a little closer to the top 10 in the points. But looking at the final schedule here, I mean, you guys got Vegas, New Hampshire, Talladega, Charlotte. Is there any tracks that you're looking forward to? Is it kind of going to be another one like at Charlotte, like you were here at Atlanta?
Oh yeah, definitely. Charlotte's one of my favorite tracks. Vegas, I'm really strong at. I love Vegas. Probably my best track. Richmond, not too much track time on it, but I'm always up for short track racing.
Well, that's it's actually New hampshire and Talladega are the other ones.
Oh, my bad.
Well, either way, at least 2 of the short track. Well, yeah, Jimmy considers New Hampshire a short track, so I guess you're not too far off. But either way, a good run here tonight. We'll see if you can go get it at Las Vegas and get to that top step, and maybe we'll talk to you again. But before we let you go here tonight, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
I just want to thank my friends and family for the support, MTR Racing for coaching. Jeremy Gill's been a great coach and helped a lot with a bunch of things. And then my good friend Tiffany, me and him are always getting on practicing together, pushing ourselves to get better.
Well, it's certainly paying off, and you get yourself up here in a second here tonight. So congrats on the finish. We'll see you next week at Vegas, and we'll see if we talk to you again.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for the broadcast as well.
Absolutely, buddy. Second place finisher here tonight, the 5 of Dylan Jacobs. Last but not least, Jimmy is going to be the winner here, the 44 of Jorge Ledesma Jr.
Hey, Jorge, this is Jimmy and Carl at the booth. You copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey, kind of quiet all race as a few of your other competitors were up front, but a lot of cautions kind of flown there towards the middle of the race and kind of towards the end. You were able to survive and find your way to the front. Give us a rundown of your race and how you got that 44 up to the front for this win.
Didn't qualify that great, so knew that I just needed to save tires, save my fast repairs if I was going to get involved in anything. Basically just rode, got up, I think around 7th or so, got some damage, fell back, more incidents happened, kept getting damage, having to come pit, repair it, and then just slowly but surely was just working my way up, avoiding incidents. And then at the end, I didn't mean to get into the 99. There was a gap there, and you just didn't really give any room, but you can't really when you have less than 10 to go.
Yeah, I mean, it gets down to the wire, and you like to see as clean racing as possible, even when it's in the final stages. But either way, you come out the victor here tonight. You made your way through the incidents, the wrecks. You made decent or good decisions in the pits, and you walk away a winner here tonight at the very bumpy and slick track. So from CRN, we want to say congratulations and give you some time for any shout, so you might have in that 44.
Thank you very much, guys. Yeah. Thanks to Shane for putting on this league. Thank you for you guys putting on an awesome broadcast. My teammates at Revved Up enjoy watching it. I got to thank our sponsors, Circle W Farms, Victory Fuel, Floors by Dennis, and No Names, Corn Dog Designs. And then shout out my kids, RJ, Brandon, and Riley. This one's for you guys.
All right. Well, again, congratulations on the win here tonight. Look forward to seeing the rest of the season, as you guys still have Vegas, New Hampshire, Talladega, and Charlotte on the dock. So we hope to talk to you again in those upcoming races. And until then, we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
That is your winner here tonight, the 44 of Jorge Ledesma Jr. Getting it done here tonight. I want to thank our sponsor here for the series. Again, pinupsforvets.com, and check them out. And I know they got some new products out there as well. They see some pictures as well, and it's definitely a great benefit for the vets out there. So check it out and support any way that you can. It's getting down towards the end of the season here. Again, 4 more races to go. Next week we head out to Vegas, and that thing can be a bit of a super speedway as well. It's a 1.5 mile track, but the high bankings just makes it a fast tri-oval out there in the desert. So I'm looking forward to it. I always like going out to Vegas, whether it's in the booth or even in the car. It's a fun track to race at, no matter what vehicle you're out there in. But you're gonna have to tune in to CRN next week to catch that live coverage here for the Hold Your Brakes Academy. Tomorrow night we have the Core Xfinity Series, as they're gonna head to double check here, to Iowa for 100 laps, 110 laps there at Iowa. And if we're still getting the car count that we've been getting, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough track to tame out there at Iowa. It's tough if it's 10 cars out there. If we're getting 30, 40 cars out there on the track, it's gonna be a fun one. Tune into that tomorrow night. Wednesday night we got CSRL. As they're getting kind of late in the tooth in the season as well, heading to Daytona for the road course. We'll see how they do now, getting back to a track where the drivers have some experience at, compared to last week being at the Bend. Thursday night we have the doubleheader with Virtual Velocity Racing ARCA Series at Homestead Miami, and the Core GT Series as they're at Daytona as well. But that's going to do it for myself here and Jimmy tonight from the booth here at the Old Atlanta Motor Speedway. We'll see you at the track.
And peace.